Okay, we're gonna do a little shop update here. There's really not, I haven't gotten any new tools except for a couple of carts that I'm gonna show you in a little while. I was able to pick up the engine and transmission for the Ford haul truck build. I will put a pick and pick here, but there was in the last episode of the shop update, I was grinding on some metal, actually the rear bumper plate for the Ford truck, and got something in my eye, so I'll give you a little detail of that. And there is a couple of new things in there. Also going to address that broomstick that I mentioned in the last shop update with the coal-fired power plant. Bring you back. Okay, so in my last shop update video, I was showing you a segment on that rear, let's call it bumper plate off of the Ford F750. In that segment, I was doing some grinding. While I was grinding, I actually had glasses on, and I got a piece of what I thought was metal in my eye. So what it did is it came up underneath the glasses, got my eye. I felt the impact of it, really didn't think much of it. I've had that happen a lot. But it kept irritating me and irritating me. I let it go for a couple of days, kept irritating me. Finally had somebody look at it, and they saw that it was actually a piece of metal in my eye stuck in there. I just thought it was a bruise from where it had hit, bounced off. So we tried to flush it out with a eye wash thing, and it wouldn't come out. So ended up going to the hospital and had to have it removed by optical surgeon. So it wasn't a big deal. I found a hospital that had one on call, and he came in, and I got to tell you, I waited in the waiting room and in the emergency room for him to show up probably 800 times more than it did to take him to take it out. I mean, he had to run a couple of tests before he did it. Check the pressure of the eyeballs, stuff like that. But once he removed it, I'm telling you, it probably wasn't more than 10 seconds, and he had the thing out. And I'll show you a little. I'll put a pick and show you a picture of my eyeball that I actually took. And well, I didn't take it. We took it and kind of showed it to the hospital staff when I was admitted to it. So there's okay. So having never been to an optometrist before, or never having anything done with my eye. Now, I've got to tell you, 47 years in the construction industry, I've gotten a lot of stuff in my eyes before. Even with safety glasses on. As a matter of fact, it seems like you get more stuff in your eyes wearing safety glasses than you do when you didn't wear them. And I kind of think that is because you're self-preserving yourself, or you're more aware of it and protect yourself when you're not wearing safety glasses. And then probably when you're wearing safety glasses, you kind of ignore it. Keep your eyes open or turn towards it, whatever you're doing. When we drilled concrete with a drill bit or hammer and star chisel for concrete inserts, we were always doing it over our head, and I always got stuff in my eyes, and just was able to get it out. Now, this I kind of thought was just a bruise of where I felt the impact of it, and I didn't really think it had stuck. I thought it was just a tender spot in my eye from where it impacted my eyeball. So having never had this done before. I've always wondered, like, when they talk about laser corrective surgery, how they keep the eyeball still while they're doing this. And having never been to an optometrist before, I had never had anybody check the pressure of my eyeball or anything like that. And so I was kind of hesitant when this guy was going to be doing this. You know, first of all, he put drops in your eye and it numbs it, but you don't know that it numbs it until you actually have something touch your eyeball to be able to say, oh, okay, this is how it's going to feel or not feel, or I can't feel it. So he put drops in my eyes, and the first thing that he did was check the pressure of it. And then he said that he would have to take a needle and go in there and pull it out with a needle. And I was kind of really hesitant because, you know, it's one thing to touch it with the pressure sensor that they use, another thing to go in with a needle. And he says, I guarantee you, you're not going to feel it. So just hold your head still. And he had me put my head in one of those head braces for while they examine the eye. And what he has is he has a light that shines in your eyes, and it's kind of an offset light while he's looking through a scope type thing to do it. The light actually kind of blinds you to being able to see the needle come where he did it. But I got to tell you, I never even felt it. He did it. I was kind of blinded. You know, you're thinking that you're going to see the needle coming into your eye, but you don't do it because you're blinded by that light he uses to shine in your eyes for him to be able to see and kind of blind you to see of what's going to happen. So he did it. I didn't even feel it. Those drops worked magnificently, and so he got it out. And again, like I said, it took him probably 10 seconds to take the thing out of my eye, and then that was it. So I got some drops, antibiotic drops that I had to put in my eye. I'm still putting them in my eye, but everything's good and everything's cool. And I'm not going to say it won't happen again because I was wearing glasses at the time. Probably going to try and get a face shield and use that from now on also. So on to other stuff, more shop update. One of the things that I wanted to show you for a shop update is I went out and got these 2 carts yesterday. Now, as you can see from the paint, they were purchased from, the guy actually does silk screening for shirts and stuff. Hence all of the colors on it, but I really don't care about that. I really think that he got these, he sold them to me for $20 a piece. I really think that he got these from a machine shop because, as you can see, it says CNC department, and then this one was a QC cart. So I really kind of think that he got these from a machine shop, and they've been resold a couple of times. But anyways, I really don't care. For $20, I mean, they'll work out good. Now, I've had a bunch of carts here in the shop, and they become just like workbenches, dumping grounds to lay stuff down that never gets moved again. But I really want to try and keep these carts for, you know, things that I'm working on. When I'm working around the truck, I can use one of them to keep tools and small parts on as I'm working on the truck. So I really think I'm going to designate the one with the, I'm not really sure yet. Yeah, maybe the 2-shelf one for the tool and truck thing. But anyways, picked them up, $10 a piece. They're kind of they're not in bad shape, but got a lot of paint and, well, whatever that is, ink probably on it. But I can clean them up and paint them if I wanted to. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you that. Okay, so to address the broomstick issue in the last shop update, and there was some pretty funny comments made regarding it, but actually it's kind of a serious thing with the broomstick. In coal-fired power plants, and I think basically they're probably pretty much built the same, but the ones that I worked in, they're high. Boilers are, there was like 5 or 6 different boilers in it. Let's call them boilers. They're not boilers as you know, steam boilers, but they're huge. Not supported on the floor. They're not built off of the floor. They're actually hung off the steel. Again, high. Probably 100 feet to the top of them. So, most of the piping that comes off of the boilers is on the top or partway up, midsection to the top. And there's a series of catwalks that are built around in there so that you and plant personnel can access valves and instrumentation ports, stuff like that. Steam-powered coal-fired power plants are high-pressure, superheated steam that has to go into the turbines. If you don't put superheated steam into the turbine, you get condensation, and condensation kills turbines. Turbine blades, it'll destroy the turbine blades. So you have to use superheated steam. To get superheated steam, you have to have it high pressure. High pressure, we're talking 1,000 pounds or more. So when you're up on these catwalks, the steam that is going through these pipes is screaming. I mean, the sound up there is deafening. You would never believe it. People equate sound to a train going by. This sound is, you get a roar out of a train. This sound is screaming. That steam rushing through the pipes is kind of like the sound of a jet engine, except being up there, it's like having 100 jet engines going off. It's just deafening. But with superheated high pressure steam, one of the things that happens is it doesn't vaporize. If you have a leak, it jets out and it doesn't vaporize right away. So if you get a leak, it could jet out 30, 40, 50, 60 feet before you actually see the steam cloud. So what you have is a path of high pressure, high steam that you can't see. So you would carry the broomstick and wave it in front of you on the catwalks in case there was a leak that you couldn't see to detect it. So the broomstick became the superficial lamp, because if you ever walked into the stream, regardless of how big the stream was, if you ever walked into it 1,000 or more pounds and superheated, it would kill you instantly. So you carried the broomstick and waved it in front of you to detect steam leaks up on the catwalks in case there was a steam leak up on the catwalk or crossing the catwalk where you needed to go. So you would wave that in front of you just to make sure that it didn't, you weren't walking into anything. So it was kind of funny to see some of the comments. Good sense of humors. But that's the reason for the broomstick. So as any of you know that followed my toolbox tour, my tap and die sets, I had a set of Craftsman, and then what I did is got a bigger set of Max, because when I was working on this tractor, I should say the Craftsman set only goes up to 1/2 inch and 12 millimeter. when I was working on the tractor and for some other things, I needed bigger taps and dies for standard SAE. Well, the other day I ran into an issue where I needed metric, and I hadn't even looked at the metric ones. And again, the Craftsman one only goes up to 12. I actually needed 14. And so what I did is end up picking up a set of larger metric taps and dies off of the Mac Tool guy. So here it is. Now there is one of the dies is missing, but he's ordered it. He might even have it on his truck. I didn't realize it until I went to use it. It's a 14 millimeter by 1.5 is missing, and that happens to be the lug nuts on Dodge pickup trucks are metric, and that's what we were using it for. Is the lugs were just kind of using it to rechace the lug nut and the stud for it. So just another addition to the tools in a shop update. That'll do it for this week's shop update. As I said in the beginning of the video, I got the engine and transmission for the truck, and there'll be extensive review and details of it in the next Ford haul truck series. So that's it. Bring you back next week.